Hi friends, I'm here this morning on a very cold morning in Hollywood, California to visit the memorial bust of James Dean. I haven't yet visited his gravesite, but I decided I'd like to at least visit the 4 memorials to James Dean here in California. So I'm starting here in Hollywood at Griffith Observatory, where James Dean filmed part of Rebel Without a Cause. If you're a fan and you've seen the movie, you'll recognize the location. Back in the 1980s, when I lived here in Hollywood, I used to come up here to Griffith Observatory just about every day to run. I no longer run, but today I walk every day. So I thought I would come up here and take a walk and visit the James Dean memorial bust, which I had seen online, but had never seen in person. It must have been placed after the last time I was here, and I haven't been back since. I'm happy to see that people are still running, and it's also interesting to see people doing Tai Chi. That definitely wasn't happening back in the 1980s when I was coming up here. The plaque is a little bit dark and hard to read, so I'll read it to you. It says, "This is not a monument to a rebel. Those were only roles he played. James Dean was an American original who, on a basis of high school honors and in a period of 5 years' time, rose to the very pinnacle of the theatrical profession and through the magic of motion pictures lives on in legend." Presented in 1988 by the artist Kenneth Kendall, who sculpted it in 1955 and 1956 at the request of James Dean and dedicates it to his memory. Then it ends with an Aztec poem which goes, "It ended with his body changed to light, a star that burns forever in that sky." That's sure a surprise to learn that James Dean commissioned this bust of himself not long before he died. Now I'm going to head back down the hill to Hollywood Boulevard to visit James Dean's memorial star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's just 5 minutes away. On Hollywood Boulevard, you can check out this mural, and then right around the corner on Vine Street, you can visit his star. It's not far from Marlon Brando's star, which is near the corner of Yucca and Vine Street. Now, this was placed posthumously, and so it has become something of a memorial over the years. And as you can see, it's located near the corner of Hollywood and Vine, one of the most famous intersections in the country, and just across the street from one of the most famous buildings in the world, the Capitol Records building. Now, my next James Dean memorial is a lot further away. It's his memorial crash site near Paso Robles, California, and it's about halfway between Los Angeles and San Francisco. It's about 3.5 hours away from Hollywood and nearly 200 miles. You take the 5 freeway north heading to San Francisco, and then you take the Highway 46 exit heading toward the coast. As you can see, I made it to James Dean's 3rd memorial site in California. I'm at the gas station. Well, it's actually it's called Blackwells Corner General Store. And this was his last stop before his fatal crash just down the road here a few miles. I think it's 30, 40 miles from here, on the way to Paso Robles. I'm going to head back. So I'm going to head back to my car, but I thought I'd show you this plaque right here. James Dean made his last stop at this corner on September 30, 1955. That was more than 60 years ago. It's hard to believe. So I'm not sure who John Cerny is. I'll have to look him up, or Ariel Marr. Maybe it's the artist who created, probably the artist who created this this mural of James Dean. So this is a Texaco gas station and Blackwells Corner general store. It's a beautiful day out. Look behind me, look at the highway. That's Route 46. And I'll be taking that. I just got off the 5 freeway coming from LA. I exited on Route 46, went through Lost Hills, and I think Lost Hills was just about 5-10 miles that way, the 5 freeway. This is just about 5-10 miles off the 5 freeway. So now the artist for this larger James Dean mural painting is also John Cerny. I don't know if you can see, he did this in 2011. Did a really good job. Very, very beautiful, great likeness. Here's a view of the mural from the other side, which is a little bit nicer. And look at the gas prices here in Central California, even higher than in Palm Springs, which is around $3.50 or so for unleaded, which seems very high to me. I paid $2.50 a gallon the other day in Pahrump, Nevada, and I believe that's the least I've paid for unleaded gas in the last 10 years. I wonder how much James Dean paid for gas here in 1955 when he filled up. Okay, so the crash site is just up ahead here, a little bit to the right. And just so you don't miss it, there's even a sign that says James Dean Memorial Junction. How many of you have been here in person? I know I've been wanting to come since I was a kid, and I'm not sure why it took me all these years to get here. And I know I've seen lots of other vloggers do videos from the site, but I still wanted to come and see it in person. So I'm sure you can tell where I am now. This is a very busy intersection here. It quieted down just a little bit. So right here is the James Dean Memorial section. It's where 46 and not sure what this street is here, where it goes to Fresno. You can see behind me. This was where the crash site was, or at least this is where the memorial is. I've heard other people say that it wasn't exactly right here, but it was maybe up just a little bit. It's been more than 60 years now, and you can see there lots of people are still visiting. This little Jimmy license plate, lots of glasses from your fans, Chesterfield cigarettes, little Porsche lanyard. We love you, James. So 60 years, more than 60 years ago, and he's just as famous today as he was then, maybe more. I'm going to head across the street here to show you the memorial sign. I couldn't have ordered a more beautiful day for my trip today, so it was worth the wait. I've been waiting. The weather hasn't been all that great, so I've been checking out the Weather Channel just to make sure I got a nice day. So this is the intersection here where James Dean had his fatal crash. It feels very very strange, very odd, kind of morbid, very sad. After all these years, it's still very sad to be here on the site where he died. When you're famous and you die young and tragically, like James Dean did, you tend to be remembered. And he's certainly been remembered by all of his fans. As you can see here, the makeshift memorial, which is kind of interesting when you think about all the generations of kids and older people like me who have been here to visit his final site over the decades. And what is it that makes people want to come to memorials, to make memorials and to remember people like James Dean when they've died more than 60 years later? I'm not sure what the duck is for. Lots of cigarettes. I guess identifying, that I can see the wind has blown lots of items down the road here. I mean, there's just all kinds of things here. Pictures and letters and photos. I'm not sure why I think it's important to remember people or why I find it interesting that I'm here today, but I am glad I'm here today. We love you, James, from your fans. Dream, live, die. Okay, someone even left a radiator. I don't know who the Gilligans are, but looks like they left a radiator. Now, when the cars aren't going by, it's very peaceful and calm here. But when it gets really loud, it just reminds you that life does go on. But it doesn't mean we can't remember the people that symbolize our youth. I think maybe that's what James Dean symbolizes for so many people. Lost youth. I think he symbolizes a lot of different things that, if you're lucky enough to live to be as old as I am, you look back and you start thinking about all of the missed opportunities, the things you didn't do, the things you weren't able to do. But also, I think remembering people like this, coming to grave sites and memorials, reminds you just how lucky you are. And even though you may not have done everything that you wanted to in your life, at least we have the opportunity to continue to try, no matter how old we are. So I don't know, that's kind of my take on why we're so obsessed at times with remembering famous people or just remembering people who have gone before us. What do you think? What's your take? How do you feel about it? Why do you think we create memorials and grave sites and monuments to remember famous people, or not so famous people as well?
If you happen to know of any other James Dean memorials that I've missed, please let me know and I'll try to visit in the future. So as always, thanks for joining me today. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share with a friend, leave a comment. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done that. You can do that down below. And I'll hope to see you on my next trip to the past.